Hello, viewers of the internet. I am the Salamander King. This is Splat Chat again. It's been very much too long. This is Creeper Fish Sticks once again making fart noises over the voice chat.
That's me plugging everything in.
Fart noise plugging it in, it's the same thing. So anyway, today we are here to talk to you about a great thing. And those great things would be terrible maps, slippery slope, and very good team comps. You start out, boyo. What do you gotta say to all this nonsense?
Okay, I'm gonna start off right away with terrible maps. At this point, it's all about preference, but everyone can agree that Salt Spray Rig sucks.
Yes, very much. Are you still alive?
Because...
Oh, okay. My computer just
just
had a seizure there for a second, so I was wondering if you were even still there. Anyway, go on.
Okay. The reason why it's not good is because it uses reflectional symmetry instead of rotational symmetry. And for you kids who haven't taken geometry yet, the rotational symmetry is where you take the image and you rotate it around a fixed point.
Ooh,
and
good job.
Yeah. And reflectional symmetry is where you take the image and you reflect it, or basically make a mirror at one point, and then it basically just gets flip-flopped over to the other side.
Okay, if you didn't understand that, think of it like this. So, all the other maps in Splatoon, with the exception of Salt Spray Rig, use rotational. And what rotational is if you make half of a map, and then you just take that half, flip it 180 degrees, and you have the whole map. Both sides of the map are exactly the same. In Salt Spray's case, it's like if you just took the half of the map, put it next to a mirror, and then flipped it on the other side. If you get it. So, what this creates is unbalance, because some maps will have certain corners, or what am I talking? Some parts of Salt Spray Rig will have certain corners and certain places that are different on each side. Like, if you know the term right side peeking, where you can move slightly. Okay, you're sitting behind a little block. You hold your weapon on the right side in Splatoon, like you do in most games. So, right side peeking is where you move slightly to the right, just so the tip of your weapon sticks out from the side, but not your actual body. So then, you can get shots off people and they can't actually hit you. That only works for one side of Salt Spray on some spots, because the other side, the blocks are facing the left. So, yeah, that's a big problem. Snipers on some sides will have different vantage points than snipers on the other side.
And that is why it's never used competitively.
I mean, that's not true. All the Nintendo hosted tournaments use it, but that's because it's Nintendo and they gotta use every map. But, this isn't... Okay, there's some imbalance there, but since right side peeking isn't usually used as much as it should be, honestly, it doesn't create huge imbalance. I mean, it's still there, but it's not huge. The problem is Salt Spray Rig zones, splat zones. And before we start, I'm gonna have to tell the whole universe, including Fishboy here, since I'm not sure if he understands it completely, what slippery slope is.
I might.
So, slippery slope is when you grab the objective and then you constantly push it, and then there's nothing the enemy team can do about it. Because imagine the objective is on top of a big old pyramid, and one team grabs the objective has wheels on it. Okay, you've got your Rainmaker with your wheels on it, sitting on top of the pyramid. And the first team that gets the objective, the first team that starts to push it down the side of the pyramid, since slippery slope is a thing, the other team is going to be extremely hard for them to even try and push it back to even the starting point, because it just keeps going downhill, if you know what I'm saying. That's one of Splatoon's biggest problems. I don't know how to fix it, though. But Salisbury Rig and Moray Towers, we'll discuss that in a few minutes. These two maps are the worst for this, because, well, let's take Salisbury Zones, for example. Pretty much the first team that gets the zone is the team that wins, because just the way Salisbury is made, where you come out of spawn, and you can either go to the side, where you have that big open like square area that nobody goes unless it's turf war, since it's useless, or you go forward. You come off the little ledge to your spawn, you either turn right or left, because reflectional symmetry and unbalancedness. You either turn right or left, and you have basically two ways to get into zone. You can either go up through snipe, or you can go through the normal area, which is super thin. The problem is, both snipe and the normal way into spawn are actually connected. So that means it's essentially one spot that one person can guard. So what happens is, you have your charger sitting on their snipe, protecting the zone, and then you send your three other dudes down into that area right before you can get into snipe. Like, I'm not sure if you know, I'll post a picture of this in the, whatever this is called. On the video, I'll put a picture of this, but there's, I don't know, do you get what I'm saying? I don't know where to go from here.
I understand. But I'm going to take it a step further and start explaining Moray Towers. Moray Towers, it's very vertical. The entire point of the map is to be vertical. You start off at spawn, you jump down the platform, then you jump down to another platform, and then once you reach the next platform, you're at snipe. And then below that is just mid. And in Splat Zones, your zone is to the right of snipe, and their zone is to the left of their snipe. That's how it is. But, for example, if you're playing Tower Control or Rainmaker, I found it very hard to push, because you are going up, and they will constantly have the advantage, because they're at higher ground, especially Chargers, because they can snipe over the pole. I've seen it done. I haven't done it before, but it's very, very difficult. And basically, whoever can get the objective first and longest wins.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying that?
Pretty much. Furthering your point, I'm gonna go off on a tangent here. You've already heard it once before in the text chat on Discord. But I'm going to go on a tangent and tell you why Moray is even worse than Salisbury in every single way. So, the biggest problem with Moray is that the only weapons you can use are either E-leaders. I mean, this isn't exact, but pretty much the only weapons you can use are either E-leaders or short-range weapons that move and paint fast. So, the reason for this is, first of all, Moray is an enormous map. I think it might be the largest with all the verticality. So it takes a really long time to get back into mid. And that further slippery slope as well, because, one team has the zone, quad kills everyone, and since it takes so long to get back into their zone, they've already pushed it to probably, like, at least 60 by the time they even come back. Another problem with, Moray, is that the reason you only see those two weapon types, this is completely random. This is completely jumbled. There's no order to me speaking here. But the reason you see only those two weapon types, being short range, fast painting, fast moving, and E-leaders, is because they are the ones that can get to mid fastest, meaning they are the ones that can initiate the slippery slope fastest, since they can get to their zone fastest. Since chargers paint a long line that you can swim through very fast. the short-range, fast-moving weapons are, well, they paint well and they move fast, obviously. So you'd have those two weapons, and they would completely take over both zones. The E-Leader would sit on their snipe, just camp there, and whenever they tried to come back down, boom, snipped them. Or snip? Yes. Snip is a competitive term now. They would... Okay. Another problem with it being so vertical is that if you want to get to mid fast, which already takes 10 flipping years, you have to be in free fall for like 3/4 of the time to get back to mid. The problem with this is, especially in something like tower control, an E-Leader will be sitting on the tower, and as you come down, as you are in free fall, falling to get back on the tower, you are such an easy and predictable target for that E-Leader. They can easily hit you, meaning that then you would have to go the long way around, furthering slippery slope, since, you know, takes a long time. And, yep, that's pretty much it. You can't do anything about it. Generally, that's what I've seen. Okay, rant is over.
Had enough of your ranting. Shut up.
So yeah. Any
And go ahead.
No, you go.
Fine, I will.
Okay, good.
One thing I've also noticed, this is completely unnecessary to be speaking of, but you know how there's the little ramp that goes from one platform to another at a certain point on Moray Towers?
Yes.
There's a spot with the little wall. There's a wall like to the right and a little bit above that ramp.
Yeah.
What I've seen people do in Rainmaker is they ink that wall, and if someone's trying to camp them from behind that little wall, then they'll be completely bypassed and they can just get right over to the pedestal.
Yep.
In Rainmaker.
Yep. And there's
basically,
there's really no way to stop that unless you have like a splash wall up, which only lasts a certain amount of time, and it's not big enough to cover the whole area anyway.
Right.
Oh, speaking of splash walls, just a general little like frustration of mine. You know how all the other bombs, it actually shows you where you're gonna throw with that like netted circle, you know?
Yeah.
How come they don't have those for splash walls? That is the worst thing. I can't tell you how many times I've thrown a splash wall, and I've accidentally thrown it right off a cliff, because I didn't know where it would actually land, because I didn't know the proper spacing of it. So I think Splatoon 2, please add that. Thank you, and goodbye. Yep.
And also, from some of the private battles and squad matches we've had together, I've seen you throw down a splash wall and then die before the splash wall can even go up.
Yeah, that's pretty salt-inducing. I really don't like it when that happens.
I'm sure you don't.
The problem is if they fix it, if they change that so that it's like it opens a lot faster, then I think they're just gonna have to nerf it again, because I think splash walls originally in version 1.0 of the game, I think they opened faster, and you know, splash walls were really OP for a really long time, so they had to nerf them a lot. So I think if they make them come out faster, they're going to just need to nerf them again, maybe. Possibly, maybe.
Alright. So, with splash walls in that mind, I remember, well, I don't remember, I just have people telling me how amazing the 96 Gal Deco was back before it was nerfed at all.
Oh, yes. Now, sit down, little kitty. Let me tell you a story about the days of old. Back in my day, the 96 Deco was the greatest weapon in the game. And do you know why?
Because Splash Wall Kraken, its amazing fire rate, it being a better 52 gal, and Kraken.
Well, yeah, probably, but let me just let me just go a little farther on what you said. So, 96 Deco, it killed really fast. Even though it had the terrible fire rate, it actually killed still really fast. Faster than most weapons. Cough, cough, custom jet. Why you do this to me, Nintendo? So, yeah. And not only that, but it still does this now, but it spreads a lot of ink for its garbage fire rate and its long range. Like, I'd say it spreads about as much ink as a Sploosha-matic, just with that added range, even now. Which means that it would get constant Krakens over and over and over again. And, back in the day, like, now the reason most people don't use the 96 Deco is because the accuracy got a huge nerf, so now it's about as accurate as, like, I don't know, let me think, an NZAP, so it's not, like, pinpoint accurate anymore, so that means your two-shot kills aren't always going to be consistent, and it's going to usually take a lot longer to get them. So, those are the main reasons. The other reasons are the heavy nerfs to both the Kraken and the Splash Wall, which was its kit, obviously. And the damage nerf, which it got, because before, I think it did like 92? What is this weapon called, 96 gal? I think it did 64 damage per shot. My god, Discord, shut up. It did 64-ish damage per shot, meaning that no amount of defense up could actually stop you from getting a two-shot. Discord, shut up, I don't care if I'm getting notifications. So no amount could stop you from getting a two-shot, meaning you had... I'm not even going to pay attention to that anymore. Meaning you had pinpoint accuracy, a really fast kill time, you spread ink fast, and there was nothing the enemy could do about it, because if they got close, they had to throw up a splash wall or use their Kraken. So, the 96 everyone used it. But then it got nerfed to all crap, because of the splash wall, the Kraken, and the main weapon damage accuracy nerfs. And now very few people actually use it.
Very few. I used to use it.
Yeah, but compared to the 52 and the 52 Deco, nobody uses this thing anymore, though. Oh,
that's true.
Don't even get me started on the normal 96. I don't think anyone ever used that one, just because the 96 Deco is better.
That is very true. I've never seen that thing used competitively. Never seen it in solo queue. Never seen it in squads even. Haven't even seen it in some of our private maps, which is kind of surprising because we use extremely lowly weapons.
Yeah, I think I've seen more custom juniors and refurbished minis than normal 96s.
Yeah.
Sad part was, back in the days of old when I first started ranked, this was like C+. I was actually playing tower control with the normal 96, and I thought I was doing pretty dang sweat, but I guess I wasn't, so,
I remember back in the day, in like C and B rank, I was using the refurbished mini on Splat Zones, and I thought I was doing pretty good. Obviously not, because I was stuck in B rank for 5 years.
Oh yes, 5 years, definitely not an exaggeration.
Totally not.
Definitely.
Totally not an over-exaggeration. Probably only like 5 weeks.
Oh yes. I don't know what that noise was, but that was my old man noise.
I guess so.
Yep.
Anyways, we haven't even started on team comps yet.
Wait, what were we even talking about before we got to 96 Deco?
What was...
What now?
It was somehow going from Moray Towers to Splash Walls to the 96 Deco and to the 96. Yeah. How?
I don't know. So yeah. Well, I guess it would be a nice time to segment into good weapons, but not OP weapons. Like top tier weapons, but they aren't game breaking, and then like good team comps on different maps and modes.
Right.
I'll start out with pretty much the god of Splatoon for the first year of the game, the Tenatech Splatter Shot. Why do you think that it's so good?
Well, I believe the main weapon, well, I know the main weapon, has a really good fire rate. It's like a 3-shot kill, and it paints really well for its range. So it can take a zone very quickly, even with the added suction bombs to apply pressure, and the Inksuka, guaranteed one-shot, can just wipe out enemies without them even knowing what's going on, and then they're just dead. Just dead.
Yeah. And not only all those things, but I actually learned this from Imperius 5-Leaf Clover, you know, the god of Splatoon, FLC, pretty much. He's like the Batman of Splatoon. Everyone knows who he is, but they don't actually like know what he looks like or like know anything about him. They just know that he's the flippin' Splatoon god. So FLC during his Splatoon 2 test fire videos, he said that the reason the new splatter shot in the test fire was so much better than the old one is because it did the same thing that Tenatech did, which was it had the options for close range, being the main weapon and the bomb, but it also has a presence. It can have a presence throughout the whole map. That's why the Tenatech was good, because the main weapon and the suction bomb worked so well together, because just forcing people out of their spots with suction bombs and then a quick kill with the main weapon. But then it could also be used at long range with the Inkzuka, and that's the same thing the test fire splatter shot did with the Tenta missiles. However, I think they changed the kit to those now. I don't know. They changed all the kits. Now it's all weird. But yep.
Speaking of test fire, just going off on a random subject here, we'll get back to this, but I think Nintendo should hold another test fire with all the updates that they've made.
I have a feeling they are going to after E3 sometime. I think they might announce it at E3. That's what I'm.
That'd be big.
Yeah. Wait. How long is it till this game comes out? Let's see. 6/12 today.
July.
So
21st.
little over a month.
At this point.
Little over a month this game comes out. So I think right after E3 would be. Actually, no, not right after though, because ARMS comes out right after E3, and everyone knows Splatoon is a lot more popular than ARMS. So the test fire would just cannibalize on ARMS' success. So maybe like a week or two after ARMS comes out, maybe they could have another test fire. That'd be pretty sweat.
I agree.
Oh, speaking of that, have you seen the new sub-weapons and specials for Splatoon 2? And the new changes they made to some old ones?
I kind of saw it, but I don't remember a lot of it. I remember Splash Shot Pros coming back. I saw the little rain cloud that we saw in the first video release for Splatoon 2. Whatever that thing's called. I don't know.
Yeah. I haven't memorized their names, but okay, so the rain cloud, what it does is you would throw it in a certain direction and it will gradually paint that area in a straight line, which is going to be really dang good for wide open zones. Like if Walleye Zones comes back, that thing's going to be insane. What else? Sprinklers. Now, if you throw a sprinkler, it inks a lot more when you first throw it, and then as time goes on, it inks less and less. I'm not sure how that's going to change anything, but it happened.
And the ink mines are different.
Oh yes, ink mines now are if you could put a point. If you could put a point sensor in the ground, that's what I think the ink mine still kills though too. I think it blows up, but if it doesn't kill them, it point sensors them. That's what I think. Although
That'd be cool.
I'm not entirely sure though. They have, of course, the curling bomb, which is flippin' sweet. Splash bombs are the same, or splat bombs are the same. Suction bombs are the same. Splash balls are the same. Burst bombs are the same. Point sensors, I think, are the same.
What's that robot one? The little one that walks around and stuff.
You thought the curling bomb was the secret replacement. Oh, have you been lied to? There's that. Now there's a little. I don't remember what any of these things are called, but there's this little robot dude that it's like a secret. I'm not sure. I think you can throw out 3 at once. I'm not sure if they spread any ink. I doubt it. But they will like seek out your enemies and kill them, which is gonna be insane for zones, because zones is generally the most campy. Like, not campy, but, you know, people generally stay near or in the zone. So, if you just chuck a couple of those in mid, and you're good. Let's see, what else? Oh, the Stingray, you can now stop shooting the Stingray, and while you're using it, you can actually activate a sort of echolocator, so you can see everyone on the map around you while you're using it. So you can, like, essentially snipe people with the thing, which is gonna be
the buffs.
which is gonna
buffs
be really
finally come for that thing.
really good.
My prayers answered. Oh, okay. Sorry. It was a little over dramatic.
Yeah. I'm just looking up to see what they are. Let me see if I can find them. Wait, no. This is not what I want. Okay, so
An awkward silence fills the chat.
You have Inkstorm, which is the cloud. You have Inkjet, Splashdown, Stingray, 10 missiles. What is this? Bomb Bazooka.
What?
I don't think this is the official name, but the whole bomb rush thing we've seen, according to Inkopedia, is called Bomb Bazooka. But I'm feeling that's bullcrap.
You have a feeling a lot of things are bullcrap.
I have a feeling that is full-on bullfrog.
Oh.
Let's see. Oh, Poison Mist. The Poison Mist is like the disruptor. Oh, first, before we get into this, the point sensor was changed a little bit. Now, it's sort of, I think now it sort of stays in one area for a few seconds, or something along those lines. Okay, so you would throw a point sensor, and it would create like a little cloud of point sensing, and if you walk through it, you get point sensed. And I think maybe if you walk out of it, you stop getting seen. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. But the new Poison Mist, which is like the new disruptor, but except not as good. How this thing works is, you know, you throw it, you have the little poison cloud, and once people walk in it, they move super slow and they use up tons and tons of ink. But I think after they walk out of the poison cloud, I think that they go back to normal, maybe? I don't know. The blaster has it. That's all I know. The new blaster has Poison Mist. That's what it's called. The Poison Mist and Splashdown, and I think the new what's that thing called? The new Splash Shot Pro, I think, has point sensors and something. I don't know. there's a video by Rocket Tech. I'll link it in the description of this one, and it explains all of this. I just didn't memorize it because I'm stupid and I didn't prepare for this. The new dualies have the same kit as the test fire splatter shot with the burst bombs and tenta missiles. The dynamo is coming back. The dynamo has ink, the new ink mine, I think. I'm not sure about the special. The octobrush is coming back, the slosh is coming back, and the splatlings are coming back. I don't remember their kits either, though. Oh, and then, this is the official stuff, but if you actually look at some of the trailers, you can see that the CRB is back, and the carbon roller is also most likely back. So, yeah. So, yeah. Still no word on my boy, Mr. Jet Squelcher, but let's hope he gets a good kit, like Burst Bomb Stingray. that's what I want.
Stingray.
That's what I want, okay.
Stingray is basically an echolocator tossed together with something else.
It's an echolocator Inkzooka that can go through walls like a killer whale, but doesn't kill as fast as an Inkzooka. That's the way I see it.
Thank God it doesn't kill as fast as the Inkzooka. Shudders.
So.
And the Rainmaker's changed.
Oh yes, the ranked
Please.
modes have been changed. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to start with Rainmaker. Instead of being the wonk machine that it is, by firing out a giant tornado, much bigger than the Inkzooka, instead it throws out a little glob of ink. And once it lands on something, it explodes. And then it kills anyone in a certain range.
Yeah, so the Rainmaker has gone from being the wonkiest hitbox giant Inkzooka that requires a very short charge compared to, most chargers, to sort of like if you took a if you took a blaster, but it would only explode if it actually hits a surface, and the blast radius is enormous. That's the way I think it works. Actually, that's the way I know it works. To be real here. Anyway, are you gonna go on with the other modes or just?
I'm gonna go on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, tower control. There are checkpoints now where you have to stand on the tower for like a certain amount of time, and then you a checkpoint. Like you pass the checkpoint. I don't know if those checkpoints last forever. Like if you get back on the tower, then like if you lose the tower, then it goes back to the last checkpoint, or if it's just for that push. No clue, but it sounds cool.
Yeah.
And also, on Splat Zones, not much has changed except there's a little icon on top showing how much of the zone has been taken.
Yep.
By what team.
Thank God Splat Zones didn't change. This is confirmation that Splat Zones is the greatest mode ever since it needed very few changes. It's confirmation, obviously.
No.
Yes,
No.
it is. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. It was just so stable that didn't need any changes.
This is
Whereas
confirmation.
Rainmaker is the very most unstablest, probably most unbalancedest mode ever in the world that has ever seen. So wonk.
Yep.
But then they changed it.
Dang.
In some ways I'm happy, but in some ways I'm gonna miss Rainmaker.
Oh. Fine then. I'm not gonna miss old Rainmaker a bit. That thing sucked, man. It sucked.
It was so good. It was godly.
No.
Godly.
And now
Just so wonk.
Now that we're on this topic of the specials, Nintendo showed off the specials in a certain video. It was called the Splatoon 2 Splat Chat, this was, of course, after we had already made 2 Splat Chat episodes, so I think we're gonna have to sue Nintendo now. Um, stealing our name. Like, really, guys? We invented the Splat Chat before you did, you fools. So, yeah. Also, I think the reason tower control now has checkpoints is to stop quick respawn. Because if we go back to our good old friend Slippery Slope, one of the reasons quick respawn was so good on tower control, especially, is because you would just constantly jump to the tower over and over and over and over again, and then the enemy team couldn't kill you fast enough, usually, to stop the push. I think that's how it worked a lot of the time. But by adding these checkpoints, it means that now the people who are quick respawn stealth jumping to the tower aren't actually pushing when they're on the tower for a decent amount of time. So that means you'll be able to kill them much easier since they're not a moving target any longer. And yep.
Right.
And the only thing I hope, however, is say you're on a say the checkpoint is 10 seconds and you sit on there for 5 seconds. But then say a CRB forces all of you off the tower. I hope that it actually the checkpoint actually sort of like regenerates after time. Like every 2 seconds it regenerates 1 second. So you get forced off the tower, you push the checkpoint to 5, but then 2 seconds later it goes back to 6. 2 seconds later it goes back to 7. So that means like you couldn't, again, to stop quick respawn stealth jump, you couldn't just keep stealth jumping to the tower you couldn't just stealth jump to the tower, sit on it for a second, and then jump off, and then do the same over and over and over again, because it would regenerate.
Right.
If you get what I'm saying.
I get it.
Good. Good. So, yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna have to leave you for a sec. My doggo is barking.
Oh no.
But I'll be back.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Don't worry, I'll just input
like
some
30 seconds.
I'll just input some let's see. What is this? What is that called? Propaganda. I'll just some Jet Squelcher propaganda. That's what I'm going to do. Slap in here.
There, not even 30 seconds.
Jet Squelcher is the best weapon ever. If you don't use the Jet Squelcher, you're a noob.
No.
Fisher is a noob because he
it's
doesn't
not.
use Jet Squelcher.
Jet Squelcher is not the best weapon. That's what I gotta say.
Nothing. Oh, we haven't even started with actual team comps yet. Let's see. Walleye Warehouse Splat Zones. Go. What's a good team comp?
You're just throwing me on the spot? What the heck?
Yes. You wasted too much of my time with that there doggo of yours. You're gonna have to... Let's go!
Okay. Custom jet, 10 attack. I don't know. I'm trying to think what else. No, this is too meta.
Too meta.
Gosh darn meta.
You're a hipster now.
Meta.
You're a hipster. You're like, nope. I can't follow the meta. I'm too much of a hipster. I have to do something different. I mean, it's not too meta. Like, custom jet isn't really seen very much in the meta for some reason. I don't know why. It's a flippin' amazing weapon, but...
Yeah. I would say if the 96 gal was any better, I'd put that in, but no, it's not good.
I mean, it's still good. Okay. It's... When you say it's not good, it's not like it's a bad weapon. It's not good. It's awful compared to what it originally was, but now I think it's balanced. The problem is people don't want it balanced because they want their all-encompassing long-range killer death machine with an invincibility special and a free shield that no longer they still have it, but it doesn't work as well anymore.
Let's see.
I think...
Okay.
Let me think. It's gonna be pretty similar to yours. I think it would probably be Custom Jet, E-Liter, probably, I don't know which E-Liter though. Dynamo,
That matters.
Gold Dynamo, and Octobrush, I'd say would be my comp. I didn't realize this until very, very recently, but Octobrush is really dang good at taking care of, like, inking zones in open maps, like Walleye Warehouse. Because, you know, you just swim up, flip, floop, flop, boom, you've taken half of the map. Go to the other side, do the same. You know, it's very easy. Are you still?
It's all making sense. I was using my old main in the wrong mode.
Womp womp womp. Yeah. I mean, I guess Tenatech could replace Octobrush, maybe, but Tenatech doesn't ink as much as Octobrush, so I don't know, man.
Right. I saw a video recently from our good friend Silver, who isn't actually our friend. Don't quote me on that.
Silver the Octobrush main. How convenient that we're talking about Octobrush now.
Yeah, but we're not really talking about Octobrushes here. It was a video about weapon viability. Like, how viable a weapon is for competitiveness. Like, how people say that the Aerospray isn't viable for ranked. But if you think about it, it's actually pretty good at one job, painting. So, use that weapon just for painting and nothing else.
I mean, I guess it works, but why would you have an Aerospray which would be exclusively used for painting when you could have something like a Tenatech which paints almost as well, but can also do a ton of other things since it's a Tenatech? I mean, let's be honest here.
Right. But you're thinking about it. Just be open-minded for a sec.
I get it. It fits a niche, but then there's other weapons that fit that niche better and do other things. That's the way I'm looking at it.
I know, I get that. But just let me say things.
Okay, fine.
I actually don't know what to say now. But I'm still gonna try and make thoughts come into words. Yeah. Yes, Tenatech is better in many ways than the Aerospray. But everyone who thinks about viability thinks about a one-on-one situation. Like, you're going one-on-one with someone else. Is that weapon viable? No, probably not. That's what they always say. But if you take it out of the one-on-one context and make it so that it never dies, make it so that the Aerospray never dies, paints the zone, and does that only. If you can constantly do that, you could win matches just with that Aerospray.
Yes, but here comes the...
I'm tired of your bull!
Here comes
Shut up!
Oh, you better get ready, Fisher. Here comes the but. So, the problem with that is, the Aerospray has such garbage range that to ink the zone constantly, you'd have to be in the zone, and the zone is the #1 target of everyone, so that means everyone would see you inking the zone, and you'd be a very easy target. Any objections?
I do have some objections.
Ugh.
First down, use the Aerospray PG, because burst bombs help a lot, and if you're in a very, very bad situation, Kraken does help.
Oh.
But then if in certain tournaments you're wasting your thing, invincibility special, so then maybe go to the MG or the, RG.
Okay, here's the problem with the PG, and the reason it's, like, it has a fantastic kit, the PG, but the reason it's not great is because, first, it shares a kit with a custom jet, and the custom jet does almost everything better. Second, not only custom jet, but also, what is that? L3D, which also
L3D.
with L3D actually I think does the Aerospray PG's job better in every way. Since it has more range, it kills faster, it's better accuracy, better ink usage. Still inks a crap ton, even for a burst fire weapon. So yeah, there's that. But I think one of the reasons, if you look at all the weapons with burst bombs, almost all of them are weapons that have very high accuracy and very little spread. And if you actually notice, most of those are the better ones. The ones that have the ones that have small hitboxes and burst bombs work really well, and the ones that don't, with the exception of the carbon roller, which is another thing entirely. The carbon roller and the base, the vanilla slosher, you just don't. It just doesn't work as well, and the reason that is because burst bombs are quick. They hit a big area. They have a big hitbox, and then you could follow it up with a couple of shots, and and it just works. Notice how the sploosh, or not sploosh, the Splashomatic Neo and the Custom Jet have these, and they're both weapons that take a lot of shots to kill. The sploosh being 5, and the jet being 4, compared to other weapons. They have high accuracy, and they both have burst bombs. Now the reason this is because they have such a small hitbox with high accuracy, the burst bomb helps when dealing with moving targets. Since you throw a burst bomb, they've just taken damage. Like, if you even get remotely close, they've taken damage, and with that amount, you can first see them, because they have to escape. Second of all, you've already done damage to them, so you probably kill them faster. And third of all, since your weapon has high accuracy, I don't know. I hope you get what I'm saying. Weapons with high accuracy make better use of burst bombs, because that's a very good way. It's a very good non-repetitive way to have a large hitbox, whereas the Aerospray PG already has an enormous hitbox, so adding a burst bomb onto it with a weapon with a huge hitbox and no range, that does really bad damage. 5 shots, albeit they come out faster than any other weapon, but still 5 shots. It doesn't really work. It's just kind of repetitive, because you have one big, very... Okay, you have one giant hitbox on the main weapon that spreads ink very well, and then you have another giant hitbox on the sub-weapon that spreads ink very well. This time you could throw it, though, but since you don't have the correct range to follow it up, it doesn't work. There's my rant. I've ranted too many times, but I'm probably going to do it some more, so... Go.
And that's why I said possibly not the... What is it? What were we just talking about? RG, right? PG.
The PG? Hey, at least the PG's better than the RG. The RG is like... Oh god, that thing only works on salt spray.
Alright, that is true. But now we've got to bring it to the MG, which has Seekers and Inksuit. Seeker, you throw a Seeker, and it goes in a straight line for a certain distance. While you're doing that, if you have enough swim speed, you can literally swim underneath the Seeker. So if an Aerospray really, really wanted to, it could swim right underneath the Seeker without anyone else noticing, and then just pop out from underneath the Seeker and kill someone. Even though that's not its intentional purpose in this team comp that I'm making up. But, hear me out. Also, the Inksuit gun. I have a feeling that the MG is way more offensive than I planned. Anyways, Inksuit gun. It's so good. You know what it does. It's just amazing.
Yep.
And that is what makes the MG more viable than its other versions.
Yeah.
Just simply because It has the Seekers and the Inkzuka. And it's really fast fire rate. It can take a zone. And if you can prevent that Aerospray from dying for as long as possible, you can pretty much take any game.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, you are right, actually. The MG is by far the best out of all of them, just because it has the range to actually compete with anything else, with the exception of the Carbon, the Sploosh, and the Luna, which the Luna would just annihilate that thing any day with its huge hitbox.
It only annihilates anything.
Yeah.
Flipping aliens it will annihilate.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But, so yeah. Okay, what was your what was the comp you were thinking of, though? You just said you were making one up.
Yeah. Aerospray MG. Like, wait, for which map and mode?
Let's say...
Are we still...
Let's try...
We're still doing walleye.
Nah, how about...
I don't know.
Kelp Dome Tower Control.
Kelp Dome Tower Control? Are you trying to make this hard on me?
Yes.
Thank you. Anyways, I'm going to start right off. Airspray MG. Why not? Because...
What?
Well...
Excuse me?
Hold on. Just be open-minded when I said this. In Kelp Dome, there's a lot of choke points that the enemy team can hold you off on. With its Seekers, Aerospray can swim underneath the Seeker and get to those choke points and kill people there. And plus with Big Zuka, it even helps more with those choke points. Because it could throw a Seeker, activate Inkzuka, and then just start firing the Inkzuka from underneath the path of the thing.
Okay.
And then it's just dead.
Here's your problem,
and even
though.
The main weapon's helpful.
Here's the
go on.
Here's your problem. So, what you're talking about, the whole swimming under the Seeker, is called Seeker surfing, and it is probably the #1 most common use for Seekers. So I know whenever I see a Seeker, I always spray the ink trail anyway. I always, just to check if someone's there, since usually there is someone there. So I have a feeling they're just gonna rat you out really fast if you try and do that. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay, sure. Okay, I get what you're saying. Like, in that one choke point where it goes from, like, the grates area, below the grates, and you go forward, and then if you take a left, you're facing their spawn.
Yeah.
Someone who's up there will notice the Seeker, and then just stop you completely.
Yeah.
But if you already have your Inkzuka charged, it just doesn't matter. By the time that you get if you're swimming in the ink, and then you see someone and they begin to fire, you activate your Inkzuka. And then there's a half a second lag between, and then you just open fire on them. Before they even know what's going on, they're just dead. If you don't have an Inkzuka ready, well, then what the heck are you doing, you idiot? Don't do that. You're just getting yourself killed.
I think, probably, in my opinion, the only way any Aerospray could work is if you just stacked Special Saver on that thing. Just so you would barely have to ink it all to get your special back. So you could, like, pretty much counter things like spawn camping, and, like, enemies pushing into your base, like, with the tower. I think that would be either that or you do your trademark, or not trademark, but your extremely common super salt-inducing quick respawn stealth jump build, which everyone uses for everything, including me. I use that for chargers sometimes when I'm being a loser. What was that noise? That was disgusting. That noise.
That was a beautiful noise.
No.
It was only the greatest noise ever known by man.
No. So.
Anyways, go on.
So yeah. What are your other weapons for this, though, thing?
Alright. Fresh Squiffer. I'm gonna let you comment here all the way. Go ahead.
Okay, so I hate to say this because I actually really like the Squiffers a lot. They're probably my favorite chargers, just because they're so much more fun to use. But the Squiffer is a worse Splat Charger, and the Splat Charger is a worse E-liter, and an E-liter is better than everything else in the game, essentially. With maybe with
True.
maybe with the exception of Luna's, but
no.
Okay.
It's the person who uses the E-liter who's better than the other people. It's not just the weapon that's good.
No.
You have to think about the people that are also using them who've trained with those weapons to make it so that they are that good.
Hey, Dipwad, be quiet. I'm going to tell you this one time, and if you don't follow it, then you're going to get the beatings. But when people talk about, tier lists, they're assuming everyone on the tier list who uses those weapons is at the exact same skill level. So when we talk about, what weapons are better than others, that means everyone's at the same exact skill level with each of their weapons.
But no one is. So even in an ideal situation, if everyone is at the exact same situation, everyone's going to play slightly different to what everyone thinks is the ideal. It's just not how this works.
I don't care if it's not how it works. That's how tier lists work. And I'm telling you, the E-liter is better than all the other chargers, because it can be all the other chargers while also being an E-liter. There you go. Case closed. I'm not saying the other ones are bad, except for the Fresh Squiffer. That one flippin' sucks, but...
No, sir.
Ink Mines, sir.
Fresh Squiffer doesn't have ink mines.
Yeah, it does.
Suction bomb cracking.
Or not Fresh Squiffer, I mean New Squiffer.
New Squiffer.
That one sucks.
Okay, I totally agree.
Yeah, that one is the worst thing ever. But yeah. Anyway, go on. I've realized that you're not gonna listen to any of my words of wisdom, so you might as well just go on.
I will. I will just go on. Anyways, Fresh Squiffer, you throw a suction bomb on the tower, and everyone has to get off, or they're gonna die or be covered in urine, which really slows them down and is not very helpful. And like with most chargers, you can sometimes snipe around the pole because the pole isn't really good for anything. You know the voice crack.
Yeah, that was a beautiful voice crack.
Yes, so I'm full.
Oh.
Anyways, and then Kraken will just basically force anyone away from where you have been, or they'll try and sneak around you, which I've seen it done, but it's very hard to do, especially if they start using some nice and delicious swim speed. And the Kraken already has a burst, like a boost in speed. So
it does. I've never noticed it having a burst in speed. Like maybe at the very start, like yeah, a boost in speed. But I'm pretty sure they actually move at the same speed. I don't know.
Maybe now.
Someone's gonna have to test that. I don't know, man.
Fine. It'll be us. We'll test it after this.
Let's see. What can I nag you about today? So, Fresh Squiffer. What you're telling me is that with the Squiffer, you're gonna throw suck bombs on the tower, and then you're gonna snip people off of it when they try and run away, right?
Right.
Could you not do the same thing with What is that? What is that nozzle nose with the suck bombs? Which one is that? I don't even remember.
Whichever nozzle nose type it is.
I don't. Let me just look that up. Okay, entertain them, Fisher. This is a commercial break.
Okay. Even if that's so, unless it's like the H3 that has the suction bombs, then...
Fisher!
Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec.
We had some technical difficulties, I guess.
Okay, I'm gonna be right back. Just carry on the episode without me, and I'll just be back.
Okay. I'll put some hot footage of me playing Splatoon in here, I guess. It's gonna be real dang hot. It's probably gonna be really bad, like B rank footage though. I haven't actually recorded anything in too long. And now we have some hot music, such as this song. Okay, this just in. No more music. Music is for the weak. Okay, he's back. Hooray!
Hello. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was doing things,
Anyway,
but now I'm not.
wow. Thanks,
What'd you
Sherlock.
find?
So, the L3 nozzle nose. Let me see. Where is that crap? The H3 nozzle nose with suck bombs and echolocator. Okay, what you're saying is you're going to throw a suck bomb, force them off the tower, and then kill them when they jump off. However, could you not do this same thing but better with the H3? Because you have the suck bomb to force them off, but then you can also ink very well, so you can ink around the tower so when they jump off they'll be stuck. And since you are an H3, you don't technically kill in one shot, but if 3 of your bursts, which only requires 1 trigger pull, hit the enemy, it essentially is a one-shot kill. And you have echolocator, so even if they get away after you force them off the tower, you can echolocate them and then kill them. There's a moment of silence.
Okay, I've given up on life and all of its meaning.
Your life is a lie. You just like, no,
Yes.
I'm done with Splatoon, he screams.
No, I'm not done with Splatoon. I'm done with coming up with team comps. You come up with one if you're so smart.
Okay, geez, fine. I'm just, yeah, I don't know, just finish. What do you have now? Arrow, oh my god, your team comp. Aerospray MG, Fresh Squiffer, what are the other two? I'm just wondering.
Oh, fine. You want me to come up with 2 more?
Yes.
Let me just throw up 2 more, just for lulz. Actually, let me think.
Let me see if I can splice some hot background music into here.
Insert blaster here. I don't know. Some blaster. Probably the Luna. Not the Luna Neo, just the Luna.
Okay.
Even though ink mines suck, it might as well be okay, because if you can keep from dying on the tower, and then they just jump on carelessly, they're gonna die, probably, unless they get away quick enough, but if they can't, they're just dead.
Yeah.
And if you're still on the tower, when that goes off, you can place another one, and if they try to still stay on, they'll just die, because they're just dead.
Yeah, I think...
And plus you have a ridiculous hitbox, which can hit people from... Like, let's say, you're on one corner of the tower, behind the tower. Underneath one corner of the tower. And the enemy is underneath, like, the one corner of the tower. You know, the grates. That's just on the sides of the tower.
Yeah.
You could hit someone from that position if you go up, left, or right.
Yeah, I actually tested this one time. God, what am I saying? If you're a Luna and you stand directly under the tower and shoot through the grates, you hit the whole tower. Like, your blast hits the whole entire thing.
Wow.
Yeah, like... Just the ink spread itself is on the whole tower, and the actual blast, I think, is slightly bigger than the ink spread that it creates. So, yeah. Pretty
Is that the one thing that you're agreeing with in my team comp?
Yes, because Luna and these aren't suck bombs. Ink mines are actually Ink mines are actually decent in tower control, just because tower.
Right. And then you have to factor in the Inksuka again, because the Inksuka is just that good. Takes out people really far away, one shot guaranteed. It's amazing.
Yep.
Especially on a Luna that has very limited range despite its large hitbox.
Yes. I'm in complete agreement of this one.
You're in complete agreement with that weapon. If I could get 2 of 4 that you agree with, I'll be a happy day.
Okay, what's your next one?
Alright. Let's add in a roller? Actually, no. No. I can't. I can't go that low. 2 chargers is absolutely stupid.
Unless you're creme fraiche, which I'm not even sure if you know what creme fraiche is, but creme fraiche is actually a really, really good European Splatoon team that runs like I think it was Walleye tower control, and I think they ran 3 chargers and like a 10 attack, and they just annihilated the competition with that team comp. Like, really?
Oh my God.
How do you guys do that? But I think they ran an E-liter,
Okay.
some, like a splatter scope, and a bamboozler, I think.
Oh my God, what kind of comp is that?
I don't know.
It's theirs, obviously, but it's some really messed up crap.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think I figured out the next weapon. 52 gal. Just that. 52 gal.
52,
There.
yeah.
Said it.
Yeah, the normal 52 gal, I mean, I can't argue that one is pretty dang good. That one's like borderline overpowered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially on tower control. And kind of glad that it's no longer, it was not in rotation, but tower control port macro. If you put a 52 gal in there, it would just control the map.
Yep.
Not just like one little area, the whole flipping map. because you could potentially have the 3 like lanes at mid completely locked down with one weapon.
Yeah, you'd have a splash wall in one lane, a killer whale in the other, and then the main weapon in the other lane. So, yeah.
Yeah. Although the 2 are extremely temporary,
Yeah.
but it's still there. It's still locking down mid. So, yeah.
If you think about it, Port Mackerel doesn't actually have a mid, really. Because...
It's just that area towards the center of the, like, vertical part of the map.
Yeah. Okay, my team... What is this, though? What is this map mode?
Kelp Dome. You said it was Kelp Dome.
Oh, it's Kelp Tower. CRB. Or actually, maybe... Yeah, it's probably CRB. I was gonna say maybe Grim, but... I'll make a video on that sometime later. CRB versus Grim on tower control. Because I think it's actually a very compelling argument. But... CRB... Steven's world famous sloshing machine Neo.
Oh my god.
I know Fishboy here knows firsthand how insane that thing can be in Steven's hands at some points. Yeah. What else we got? I'm tempted to say Dynamo question? Tempered Dino, that's the one I want. Because Dynamo and CRB, like, as a combination, is actually really, really crazy. Because you have the Dynamo, which spreads more ink than pretty much everything else. I mean, it does it slowly, but it still spreads tons and tons of ink. And then you have the CRB, which barely spreads any ink. So you'd have the Dynamo in front of the CRB, just sort of painting things for the CRB to swim through. And then, if they see an enemy, the Dynamo would flick, just sort of in their general direction, and the CRB would use the ink that they use to pop out and, God, what is that called? Shark them. Do you know what that term means, sharking? Hello?
Not really. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Sharking is most often seen in things such as Lunas and Carbon Rollers. It's where you hide in your ink, and when someone just walks by, you just go smack, and you just kill them. Yeah. So, Dynamo, CRB, what is that thing? Sloshing Neo, and Tenatech, I guess. Maybe either Tenatech or Zimmy, I'd say. I don't know. One of those two.
Zimmy has Disruptor Bubbler, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not mixing up my weapons yet. I'm not that old.
Yeah. So, what you would have is you'd have the Dynamo and the CRB go right down the middle of the map. You know, Dynamo spreads ink, CRB is sharking people. Then you'd have the sloshing Neo, like, I don't know, flank from the left or something. I don't know, something crazy. And they would be your defense. If anyone on the other team got on the tower, the sloshing Neo is so good at getting people off the tower with its crazy arc shots and its good kill time. So you would pretty much play damage control to keep people off the tower. And then what was the other one I said? Was that Tenatech? Or yeah, probably.
It was either you said either Tenatech or Zimmy.
Oh. Well, Tenatech, you know, you just like your first Squiffer, you throw suck bombs on the tower. You know, if it's too much for a suck bomb, you pull out your Inkzuka and you Inkzuka the tower. Kind of doing the same thing, a similar thing as the sloshing Neo, except it'd be less get people off the tower and more get people who have recently come off the tower, kill those people. And if it
It's
was
basically the send back to spawn squad.
yes, you'd have your main support would be your Dynamo and your CRB, just almost exclusively killing people. You'd have your offense being your Tenatech, which would be the one getting on the tower most likely. You'd have your defense, which would be the sloshing Neo, getting people off of the tower if your Tenatech dies. And if you were to switch the Tenatech with the Zimmy, actually never mind, don't do that, because Zimmy is like a super good support weapon, and I don't think it would work as offense at all. So yeah, don't just kick Zimmy out of there. Any objection from Fishboy?
Are you saying it now? I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
And any objections?
Alright. Your lack of a charger disturbs me, though. I mean, even though everything else seems to work super amazingly well together, I think just simply having a charger puts a little more of an emphasis on, hey, I might get killed if I go on the tower. Should I push now or shouldn't I? Except for the flippin' Japanese, because they don't care about chargers. They do not give a single care about chargers.
That is very much 100% true. What I was thinking is, like, I would have, instead of using a charger for defense, I'd have the sloshing Neo for the defense, which would do the same thing as the charger, except it would probably apply more pressure because you would be able to shoot a lot faster. So you'd have more ink on the tower, and you'd be closer, meaning that... Actually, I don't know what that means. Okay, it comes with its good and its bad. You ink a lot more, and you apply more pressure because you shoot faster, but you have to be a lot closer to the tower.
And also, I'd like to add on to that, point sensors. So
yes. Point sensors and
point sensor
Inkzukas.
the tower. You just basically point sensor the tower, and anyone who's on or near the tower is instantly seen, and you can just take them out.
Yes. That's probably the number one reason that the Neo is better than the normal sloshing machine, which is completely
someone we
beaten
know
out
needs to
by-
learn that.
Who would that be?
You know who?
You're talking about
A scrub who recently got into B rank.
oh
We know.
oh yes, Mr. B rank scrub. If you're watching this video, stop using the normal sloshing machine and start using Luna Luna Neo because it is the same kit except is better.
I figured that out.
From your friendly
Neo's gods here.
From your friendly neighborhood salamander and fish. Yeah.
We don't usually use our names in like Salabish. We don't do that.
No.
That's taboo.
Too much. Anyway.
Speedy, you did this to us.
Speedy's probably watching. He's like, oh, triggered. Do you?
Traitor.
I doubt anyone would watch this though. Do you know how long this video is? This video's like I think it's over an hour and a half long at this point.
An hour and a half? That's impossible. No way we're recording that long.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll split it up into 2 episodes.
I'm not going to.
No. Okay.
Nope.
That's your choice.
When we get rich, or not rich, but when we turn into famous top tier Splatoon YouTubers, such as that SRB2 dude, people will watch it. That's what.
Holy crap! These guys are all their crap.
Yeah, sure. One of the reasons I made this show is because there was in my opinion there was a severe lack of competitive Splatoon discussion because you had FLC who had the Ink Radio podcast, which died after its 3rd episode for whatever reason, I don't remember. But it's not on anymore, and he hasn't made anymore. But that was a really good one. And now you have Ink TV, which is less about, like, strategies and competitive, and is more like, how can we get more people into competitive Splatoon, and how can we make tournaments better? Then again, they're still really good. And then you have Hitzel, who makes videos of him talking over gameplay, and his videos are really good, but they're more of like, hey, look at what I'm doing here. It works somewhat. But he's by himself, so it's not really a discussion. He's just talking. So I think that's why I made this. Just completely random, out of nowhere, story of how the Splat Chat came to be, and then how the Splat Chat came to be stolen by Nintendo. But, yeah.
Yeah. I'm honestly thinking about talking to Nintendo saying, hey, don't use that name again. We already came up with it. Don't do that. We might hurt.
No, that would...
might hurt our feel bad, and we might have to take money from them.
That's stupid, though. Don't talk to Nintendo.
I don't
You're gonna screw us all over, because the court's gonna be like, you kids are morons, and then Nintendo's gonna be able to sue us. And if they really wanted to, they could, like, kill us. I doubt they would kill us, but... Anyway, yeah. What were we talking about? I don't even know. Actually, now, I think it would be an opportune time to talk about the worst weapons in the game. In our first episode, we talked about the best, and now it's time to talk about the worst.
Can I start us off?
Sure.
The first Splat-Matic, the vanilla.
Objection.
Go ahead, Phoenix. What do you have to say about that?
The Splat-Matic, okay. What does it have? Squid Beacon and Killer Whale. This thing is great for one map and one mode. And that is Splat Zones on Urchin Underpass. All the other weapons I use for zones, you know, Custom Jet, Splatlinks, none of those work on Urchin because of those giant flippin' trees on the side of zone, blocking all my shots. So, Splat-Matic with the Squid Beacon and the Killer Whale works so well because you get to mid fast, you put Squid Beacons down, you know, in like the corners of zone, and then you win because you can ink the zone. If you die, you just jump back to your beacon, ink the zone, put a beacon, die, jump back to your beacon, ink zone. And eventually you get a Killer Whale, you put up your Killer Whale, you pressure some dudes, and you win. Boom.
But...
Nailed it.
But... Can't the
How?
custom dual sculpture do everything you just said better? Because it has more range. It can take out people from farther away. And it has about the same inking potential, except it has more range, and you don't even have to be in the zone to actually ink the zone.
Well...
And you can do everything else that weapon does, except better.
That may be true for every other map. However, Urchin Underpass, like I said earlier, has those two giant trees in that big old billboard right above the zone that completely block any shots from a long-range weapon, unless you're literally standing in zone. And then, another problem is, Splat-Matic moves so much faster than Custom Duel. So, you'd be able to take the zone a lot faster, since you're moving faster and you have a wider spread. Overall, I think Squid Beacons also work better with short-range weapons, because if the enemy camps the Squid Beacon, a long-range weapon can't do anything. If they jump down, they're just going to get killed. But something like a Sploosh actually has a chance of surviving because of its high ink spread and its high kill time, being 3 shots at really fast. Like, seriously, Splat-Matic's insane. So yeah. Any objections? Any?
No, sir.
Good. Fool.
Hey, you go ahead and name a bad weapon.
All arrow sprays.
Objection. Objection.
What?
Objection.
What?
We already covered this
Yes.
with the MG. The MG is not trash.
Okay.
MG is good in situations that are in its favor.
Okay, you've got arrow spray. RG only works on salt spray zones, which we already have said is awful anyway, so, you know, that one's out the window. Aerospray PG.
I agree with that.
Aerospray PG is just like worse L3D, so that one's out the window. Okay, I'll give you this. The MG is okay, but I think if you want something that works similarly to an MG, just use a 10 attack. Really though, just use a 10 attack. It does everything better.
That's what I hear with every single weapon that I ever bring up. Just use a 10 attack. Just use a 10 attack. Just use a 10 attack.
Hey,
I can't use a 10 attack. Or an E-leader, or a dynamo, or any of the other weapons that are just amazingly good.
That's your problem. No, you know, you say, every time you bring up a weapon, Steven, you always say, use your 10 attack, use your 10 attack, use your 10 attack. Have you looked at any Splatoon tier list ever? 10 attack is always top tier. Ever wonder why, pretty much up until Sheldon's picks, the original Sheldon's picks came out, you couldn't go more than like one game without seeing a 10 attack. 10 attack is just it's top tier. It's good. It's good at everything. Except sniping, because it's not a sniper. But, yeah. If you get what I'm saying.
Okay. Kinda get it, but, you know, it just still triggers me when you say just use a 10 attack. It always will, but I'll understand why. Anyways, go on with another weapon that I might object to.
Let's see. This one I know you're not going to object to. Custom Junior.
Objection!
Oh my god. What is wrong
Just think about this for a good minute. No, wait, actually, no. Now when I think about it, it gets a lot worse. Never mind.
Thank you.
Custom Junior's bad.
Okay.
How about this? Ink brushes.
Everything except the ink brush, the permanent ink brush is pretty bad.
Well, yeah, it's the permanent ink brush. That's the same thing as the CRB.
Yeah.
But the CRB just does everything better except for the inking part.
I actually think the permanent ink brush is fine. I don't think the CRB is better than it because they do different things. The permanent is more about spreading ink and getting like stealth kills from behind and flanking, while the CRB is I can keep people off the tower permanently kind of thing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Let's see.
I don't know. What's this trash?
Let me see. I have a list of weapons here. Just
Custom blaster.
No.
How about that? Let's throw that one.
Custom blaster is good though. I love custom blaster. Yeah.
What kind of life do you live where you don't tell me about these things?
Let's see. I can't even find it on this weapon list. Where is that custom blaster? I see custom range blaster. I see range blaster. Oh yeah, range blaster sucks.
The regular range blaster? Wait, what's its kit?
Splash Wall Ink Strike.
Splash Strike?
Yes.
What the heck kind of kit is that?
A pretty bad one.
Yeah.
I think if you want that kit, don't use the range blaster. Use the vanilla, the vanilla heavy, because that's actually a good one.
Or the vanilla jet, but maybe not so.
But the vanilla jet is a bad one.
You know, the vanilla heavy is just a better vanilla jet.
Yeah.
Well, let's not go into that. We're talking about bad weapons.
Yeah.
Bad, trash, garbage, useless. Sale, discount, 50% off, price match guaranteed.
Yep. Let's see. If you think about it, there really aren't a lot of bad weapons in this game. This game is almost 100% balanced, with the couple of outliers, Cough E-Leader, Cough Luna.
Cough Kraken.
Well, yeah, no Dick Kraken.
Even Bubbler.
Yeah, Bubbler is really annoying as well.
I remember when I first started off playing the game, I was like, ooh, Bubbler is so good. And I'm like, there are better things than the Bubbler.
Okay, how about this?
Pulls out LPD.
Koro Splat Roller. How do you feel about that?
Was Splash Wall Zuka?
Yep.
It is very, very situational.
Yes. It really only works. Okay. I actually really like using the Koro because no one else uses it, and I'm a stupid hipster, and I think it's too mainstream to use the crack-on roller. Anyway, but I actually really like using it because no one expects the splash wall to come off of it, but it's not good. I think unless the way I think if you're going to use the Koro, the way to use it I think would be like the sniper killer with your splash wall to block its shots and the Ink Zuka to then take it out. But then if you think about that, there are other weapons that do that better. Things like Jet do that so much better because they actually have good range. Actually, that's okay. That's the only way the normal Jet can be good is sniper killer with splash wall, ink strike, and long range. There you go. That's the only good way to use it. But yeah, Koro, unless you're playing on like Port Mackerel, yeah, I don't see a use for it. And even if you are playing it on Port Mackerel, you can just use a 52 gal and it's just better.
Right.
Yep. Silver, actually, we're just like, this is like Silver product placement, all these videos. So Silver actually made a video on the Koro roller, and he said that there are ways to use it. Like, I think he uses Ninja Squid, and what he does is he sneaks behind people, throws out the splash wall in front of them so they're trapped, and then flicks them, and then kills them. But that just seems like a lot of extra work to do something slower and less efficiently than the 52 gal. So, really, yeah.
Wow. I've never heard of someone critiquing Silver's playstyle. But now, I've heard it all.
Yes, Steven the Extreme movie critic, a game critic, and now the Silver critic.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Okay. It's a lot. I think this is plenty for one episode. Do you agree?
I don't know, let me see if I can find one more stinker. I think we might have got all of them.
I can't believe I forgot about this. Refurbished Mini.
Oh, how did we forget? Yep. Refurbished Mini is garbage. Okay, so
Literally.
yeah, it is literally garbage. Sheldon found out in a dumpster and fixed it up. That's why it's refurbished.
Yes.
So the thing I found strange about the mini Splatling line is that, with the exception of the Zimmy, all of the mini Splatlings are exactly the same as their Splattershot counterparts, and all the Splattershots do the same kit better than the minis. Like, the Tenatech is a better normal mini Splatling. The normal, God, I lost my train of thought. The normal Splattershot is better than the refurbished mini because, okay, so think of it like this. I tested this out one time because I thought maybe I could find a certain way to use the Remy, the refurbished mini, at least decently. So I was thinking, like, maybe if you threw a burst bomb and then, like, didn't even charge, just threw a burst bomb and then pressed the trigger one time, I thought that it might work. Okay, sort of in an E-liter-esque situation where you throw it and then you just spam the trigger a couple of times without charging. However, it doesn't work because it doesn't work because even though if you pull the trigger one time on any Splatling, your shot pretty much, I think, is at maximum range. I think as soon as you pull the trigger once, you don't have to charge it to get at maximum range. The problem is, though, if you don't charge it at all, your accuracy, it goes down the drain. It's in the crapper. Okay, so do you get what I'm saying? You pull the trigger once, and it's like you just shot an aerospray shot. You just pressed an aerospray one time, and one little blob came out and flopped over to your side. Except it's at the normal range. So that means you have no accuracy until you start charging. So that means you're pretty much forced to charge. So the burst bombs just are useless, essentially. Unless, the only way I think you could use it is if you just stacked Sub Saver, and just did 90% of your killing with burst bombs. But even then, that's pretty crappy. Why would you do that?
I think another way it could work is in zones and just constantly getting bomb rushes and taking over zones and killing people. That's the only way it would work, but the Splash Shot does it so much better.
Mm-hmm. True. Let's see. Wait, what was I talking about, though? Oh, here's another one. This is going to be the last one. Neo Sploosh-O-Matic. Point sensor.
Sploosh? What is that?
Point sensor Kraken.
Oh, so it's the same kit as the 83?
Yes.
Alright. So you're telling me the vanilla Sploosh is good, but the Neo Sploosh is bad.
Yes.
Alright,
and then
the
Sploosh 7.
Listen.
Okay, Neo Sploosh, or the vanilla Sploosh is decent at some points. The Neo Sploosh is bad, and then the Sploosh 7 is like godly. So yeah. Neo Sploosh, point sensor Kraken. Think about that. When I think of this, I think it has the same problem. The Neo Sploosh has the exact same problem that the Custom Junior has, which it has a highly support-based sub-weapon, but it doesn't have the range to follow up and actually use its support weapon, support sub-weapon. Like, you can point sensor someone, but then what are you gonna do? You know, they're point sensors, so they know someone's gonna try and kill them, so they'll be prepared for you, and since you have such low range, you're gonna have to, like, you know, walk over to them, essentially, and shoot them, which is... Really, though. Why? I mean, it's better than the Custom Junior because it has Kraken, which actually works with the main weapon, because it paints well, and you just get a Kraken every 30 seconds, meaning you will probably stay alive for most of the game. But other than that, it's just like, why? You know?
But the NZAP 83 just does everything you just described, but better.
Yes. The NZAP 83 actually has the range and accuracy to use it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Well, I guess that will conclude our long-awaited third episode of the Splat Chat. I'm the Salamander King. This is Creeper Fish Sticks, and we are signing out. Goodbye.